So, cultural appropriation. I want to play something. I need to know how y'all feel about this. Let's play this. This is Tom Hanks' son. His name is Chet.
Oh, my.
Go ahead, play it.
Big up the whole island, massive. It's your boy Chet, coming straight from the Golden Globes, you want to say? Me father Tom Hanks presenting in a what soon forward come. Big up, tune in.
So that was him basically saying something about his father, the Golden Globes. Apparently, he's a rapper or something. He feels that he's, culturally aligned. There is a person in this room that has roots in this particular area of the diaspora. Yes. Lurie Daniel Favors. How do you feel about this?
Remember we mentioned earlier how white women used to pick up black babies like handbags? There's this dabbling, this fascination that white people or non-melanated people, non-black people have with blackness. As you said, we are the number one product. Our culture is the number one export for this country. And I'm always bothered because I am the descendant of Jamaican people. I was not raised in Jamaica. So I respect the culture. I embrace the culture, recognizing I am very Jamaican. And my cousins speak excellent Patois. It only comes out of me when I'm angry at my kids. And that's a bad association, but my mother, when we were disciplined, she spoke in Patois. So it's like a natural thing. I'm always bothered by white people who have no allegiance, who are not doing anything to support, who are not putting anybody on. You've got access to resources, and you are now going to insert yourself and all of your money and your ability. Sort of like Bloomberg just blowing up the whole race because you just insert yourself. You just insert yourself in it with resources in a way that is not respectful to the people in the culture. I don't care if you spend time in the mountains with the Rasta. I don't care about that, because what you do is you come back here, you use the voice for show, you use it as a gimmick, and you throw on the accent using terms that we don't. Booyaka, booyaka. Nobody goes around just booyaka, booyaka. Like, that's just a random thing. People don't just blurt out booyaka, booyaka in the middle of the market. I'm always bothered when people take on culture.
Oh,
no,
man.
that's not like bumba clot. Like, we're not just out.
No.
You don't just randomly hear people just blurting out these
because
stereotypical.
Bumba clot and Ross ass and all that. Those are very. You're mad at somebody, and you're
there's a
calling
context.
them. You're calling them period blood.
A controversial question?
Please.
Going back to Africa, is it possible for Black Americans to culturally appropriate Africa?
Yes.
I think that's
I answered
possible.
that really quickly.
I don't know, how does it show up
For me,
because the reason I'm saying how does it show up is how does it show up for people who descended from that and are doing what they can to return to it, as opposed to people who had no connection to it and who are using it for marketing and exploitation.
Me.
Yes, Karen.
Okay, it shows up. You're in the streets. You're wearing the full garb that's used usually for marriage. You know, you're wearing all of the African, you're head to toe in African whatever regalia, but and then you're walking and you're taking the libations, you're going through the things, and then, I think that is appropriation when you're wearing things that you don't understand the connection to it, because it's quote unquote African or it's Ghanaian.
That's the key.
Here's the story. I'm sitting in a
Wait,
restaurant.
hold on. She said that's the key.
No, but it is. But I'm sitting in a restaurant with a blazer. I think we might have talked about this before. I had on a blazer that was made by a Ghanaian woman, and she was phenomenal. I saw her at Anna Takeo is her name. You guys got to follow her. Her page is amazing. But she makes this blazer. I wear the blazer. This brother comes up to me after my colleagues and I are having dinner, and we're in Albany, like not the place, not a bastion of Africanity in any way, shape, or form. And he's like, the sister he was with was like, he was reading your jacket the whole dinner. I was like, he was what happened on it now? And he was reading because there was a lot of Adinkra symbology. There was a lot of messaging in the patterns of the blade. I had not a damn clue that I was wearing like a poem on one part, like there's a lack of education, but I kind of feel like if I'm kidnapped from home and all I know is my mom used to braid my hair like this and bead my hair like this, and I do it wrong and messed up, it is my home family members who know the truth to teach me the right way so that I can do it properly. But I feel like if I've descended from this culture and I've been forcibly separated from it, I don't see it the same way as I do of someone.
You're not the same.
No, not at all.
And I taught. Do you know Awari? So this young man was teaching me. He has an app. He's going to be on the show soon. He's going back to Ghana to create a whole tech space, right? And so we had this conversation at a Starbucks recently. So he's teaching me this game, which is the ancient game, older than chess.
This is the one with
the seeds. It's a game of sowing and reaping. You have 6 pods on one side, 6 pods on the other.
Yes, I know the game. Yeah.
So I said, what I want to do, because my board has an Adinka symbol on it, I want to get the symbols, and we're gonna do this whole thing. He said they're gonna come for you, and I was like, what do you mean? He said, this is sacred. You can't commercialize this. And I caught my colonizing mind because it's very American what I did. And I was like, oh, that is disrespectful. But he checked me immediately.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, we're going to put it on earrings. And he was like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
And they're going to come for you. There's going to be a cease and desist. Trust me. And I was like, I appreciate that.
And thank God for cease and desist. Now, if you had done it, that to me would be cultural. Having been told this is a sacred
and to do it
act,
anyway.
and to do it anyway, appropriation. Inappropriate capitalistic exploitation of African culture.
I think the most important part is don't do things you don't know what you're doing, right? If I'm going to go and get a Ndinkra tattoo, I best know what I'm doing.
Means,
right. Regardless of culture or whatever.
Right.
I think that's the missing thing. I think it becomes cultural appropriation when you're doing it to just do it. I think when you have an understanding behind it, then it becomes celebration.
Yeah.
All right,
but Tom Hanks' son. All
right, what about this one?
Why did he even want to? I don't. I don't
and
understand.
he's done it a couple of times because when he got checked on it, he came back and was like, did it in the same patois.
That's what he did.
Just
God,
you have a culture. Celebrate it.
Right. But you might not be as successful in that culture, and you have an easier route to success by being a white person showing up in a black culture.
Because your white privilege
affords you that. And our internalized white supremacy is going to give that space to him. And so it's far easier to be a successful white rapper than it is a successful white singer.
What's white culture?
Oh.
No, y'all come to it. 86680. No, there's no more lines open. All right.